Hey fellow Vault Dwellers, it's Angry Turtle, and part 3 of Perkopedia. Endurance today, one of the most important special. By itself, increases your max health and reduces the drain of action points from sprinting. That's endurance by itself, but perks are even more important. So first, Adamantium Skeleton increases your limb damage reduction based on your endurance. So in other words, reduces the likelihood of you being crippled in combat, as your limbs will survive longer. Nothing to do with the total health of your character or total health of enemies. Health of limbs completely separate. Value of this perk card at 30 endurance, it's 60% reduction. Why value at 30 is important, I explained in previous episode about perception. I spent like 5 minutes on those curves for the cards, so you can check that out if you missed it. But yes, very good card, and you can combine it with strengthened on your limbs to achieve total limb immunity without the need to use power armor. So very important card because of that, not S tier, but for non-power armor builds, definitely A tier. Absolutely. It deserves it. Next, All Night Long perk card. The positive effects of pre-war alcohol last twice as long. Could have been such a good card, but it's only pre-war alcohols, and usually those alcohols have very little benefit, with exceptions of maybe something like vodka, which gives you a significant amount of extra health. For some reason, I don't really know why. Don't ask me why vodka adds health to your character in Fallout 76, but that's how it works. So All Night Long can be used a little bit as it's increasing the duration, but it's really not a big use case, I'm not gonna lie to you. See occasional, very specific use case. Aqua Boy. This one, you no longer take rat damage from swimming and can breathe underwater. Okay, cool. Can be useful, but there is really not much swimming in Fallout 76. You will only probably use it if you plan to explore underwater stuff in Fallout 76, which is not gonna be happening often, so again, tier C. Next one, Bloodsucker. Blood packs and Cannibal now satisfy first, no longer irradiate and heal twice as much. Awesome for cannibals, and only really for them. No one is using blood packs. So if you are a cannibal, that's what you are playing in Fallout, you will definitely use it. Everyone else will most likely not, and I don't know what really the population of cannibals in Fallout. I am ranking it low, as I do not want to be cannibal myself. So putting it under C again, I know a lot of under C, but here we go, something that will go much higher. Bullet Shield. And you may notice I'm holding a rank 3 card, even though rank 4 is currently the max. That's because from December 2nd, or if you are watching it on December 2nd or after, it's already 3 points as max. So that will be the max rank of this card soon. That's why I have it. That's not a mistake, that's intentional. Still, 15% deflect chance for 6 seconds when firing a heavy gun. That bonus goes up in case you are wearing a heavy armor, so you can get much higher bonus than 15%. If I'm not mistaken, it will be 22.5% when you are wearing a heavy armor, so significant improvement to the effect of the card. Absolutely amazing for every tank build that's a heavy gunner. Bullet deflection, super powerful. Ricochet bullet shield, and you can use it to solo the Guardian to take down its shield. Therefore, yes, it deserves to be tier S. Without the ability to take down Guardian shield, maybe I will drop it to A, but with that added to the picture, definitely S tier. Then the Cannibal. So eating human, ghoul, super mutant, scourge, or mole miner corpses restore health and hunger. Again, awesome for cannibals. I don't like cannibals, that's why I'm giving it C. If you are a cannibal, I guess your ranking is S tier. But yeah, I am not. Next, Chem Diet. This is a ghoul specific because green outline, that's, it's a ghoul specific card. If there will be a lock on the card, then it will be human specific. There's a lot of ghoul specific and human specific cards under Endurance. Chem Diet. Chems are 75% more effective at reducing how feral you are. And chems are so abundant in Fallout 76, and there's even more ways to reduce how feral you are with legendary perks if you want to go lazy route. Radex Diluted works, Radaway works to satisfy feral, glowing blood packs, and any other chem that you can imagine. Therefore, I never encounter a situation at all in which I will need this card, so I'm putting it into the dumpster tier. It's not useful at all. ChemFend. Any chems you take last 100% longer. Extremely important for experience farming when you want those berry mentats to last for 10 minutes and not 5. Therefore, yes, super useful. And when experience farming is involved, then it is S tier. Other than that, it's not. But should I put it here? I think experience farming is still very important. I will put it on top with this note to remember when experience farming, it's S tier. When not, obviously it is not S tier, but still useful. As chems, some of them are powerful. First, human-specific card, Chem Resistant. You gain complete immunity to chem addiction. Ghouls cannot get immunity to chem addictions, human can. How important is that? Not really. I didn't notice anyone ever using it, so I would say not at all. So you can remove addictions with food from Rat Scorpion, and there is Addictol, quite abundant in Fallout world. Therefore, Chem Resistant, no. There is no practical use case for Chem Resistant in-game. Cola Nut. Nuka-Cola drinks are now 3 times as beneficial. And overall, it would not be so awesome if not the fact that you can use it with Nuka-Cola Dark combined with alcohol-related perks and this one to give yourself huge boost to luck. Would you like a temporary luck bonus, like 18 luck? That's solid. And that helps with a lot of things. If you want to see exactly how it works, I'm pretty sure I have a video, Secrets of Nuka-Cola Dark, so you can check it out to see entire combo, how to apply it in practice. But because of that, it is very useful. It is still a relatively niche case scenario. There is one more. The Nuka-Cola twist with this perk provides 3 different effects instead of 1, so 3 times more than beneficial in case of Nuka-Cola twist. It's 3 effects instead of 1, which is very good. So I need to say, Nuka Twist can give intelligence, good for experience farming. You can use Nuka-Cola Dark to boost your luck a lot, so I would put it under A tier. Not as powerful in any case scenario as ChemFend, as you don't use it as often, but when you need it, it is really powerful. Dromedar. That's a human perk, and this one, all drinks quench first by an additional 100%. And this is another one that's useless. You will never use it. You just drink twice as many bottles of water instead of equipping extra card to drink less water. Like, why would you do that? No point in using this card. Next, Fireproof. Absolute powerhouse. Take 45% less damage from explosions. There are flame attacks too, but explosions. Reducing damage by 45%. In practice, translate into 60 to 70% reduction from explosions, because if you reduce it before armor calculation, final effect is stronger than what cards list here. So absolute S tier. That include sonic screams from Scourge Beast. Those count as explosions. And that includes self-inflicted explosions if you are running, let's say, launcher or explosive weapons. So that will be very helpful. The one situation when it will not reduce the damage from your own explosions is if you use critical in VATS and then explosion happen. This explosion cannot be mitigated. Critical explosion cannot be mitigated. Ghoulish. So if you don't want to be a ghoul, but you want radiation to heal you, you will still take rats, but your health will go up. There is Ghoulish card. It was quite cool in the past to try to experiment with that and run toxic goo for healing, but now you can actually become a ghoul, which would be way superior to just running a Ghoulish card. So I would say not really used. You can find edge case scenario. I'm not gonna say no completely to it, but it's very rare that anyone gonna run Ghoulish. So I'm putting it low on the list. Glowing Gut, irradiated food and drink, grant 300% more rats. And that's healing for ghouls. That's the second bar. That's the bonuses that unlocks when your glow is high. Therefore, Glowing Gut, unlike anything else, is super useful for ghouls. You can run Toxic Goo as ultimate healing item as long as you have any glow. It will top it up. Like one Toxic Goo can fill up half of your health bar with this card. So very powerful. And Toxic Goo is free. So I would say Glowing Gut, definitely A tier. I'm not putting it under S because there are stronger effects and there is more of them. So sometimes you may find yourself not even having room for Glowing Gut, but it is very good. Then Good Doggy. Eating dog food is now 3 times as beneficial. You should never eat dog food, therefore this card is F tier. There's better food. Leave the dog food for dogs. No. Homebody. While in a camp or workshop, gain health and limb regen, improve benefits of being well rested. It's not overall useful. Hydrofix. Camps restore twice as much first. Why would that be even a thing? No clue. Did not encounter anyone using it ever with any success. Doesn't mean no one ever used it. But I do not recommend, I do not see a point or the use case for this particular card. Iron Stomach. Increased damage and energy resistance based on endurance while not diseased. So another card that do scale, therefore very good. This one is awesome, just 1 point, and at 30 endurance, it's 96 to ballistic and 96 to energy resistance. So both 96, very good bonus for just 1 point. And even if you don't have 30, it's still powerful. Like all those cards are good as long as you have at least 12. That's usually the rule. If you missed from my last video, if you have at least 12, they're awesome. Human only. So of course, for humans, if you are a ghoul, you cannot use it regardless how good it is. You just will not be able to use it. For humans, awesome. Another one, Ironclad. Some people think that's only for regular armor, which is not true. That was like that in the past. It's for armor and power armor. Plus, the effect is doubled with a matching set. And what some of you mentioned last time, in case of cards like Ironclad, you can use rank 1, as rank 1 effect is 15%, so very close to that. But card overall, super powerful, especially on power armor. Being able to get 50% more resistances than otherwise, huge bonus. With this card, it's relatively easy to hit 1000 on your resistances stat. So very good one. Absolutely, in my opinion, S tier for every tank. And endurance is generally tankiness, so that's how we judge those cards. You can be a super tank. Lead Belly. You take less radiation from eating or drinking based on your endurance. This actually may have a tiny use case because it's only 1 point, and if you play human and you're really annoyed by a tiny bit of radiation and you don't want to manage it all the time and you like to eat a lot, I know, I'm stretching it. That's a very edge case scenario. You will not use it much, but I will give it C-. Just a tiny bit better than useless. So C- for the lead belly here. Next one, Life Giver. Another huge card. The Life Giver. Extra health. So endurance itself does give you health, and with this card, you are getting bonus health. At 30 endurance, that's 180 bonus health. If you keep in mind that your base health is around 200 when you start the game, adding 180 at 30 endurance, you can see how big is that. That's the That's the biggest card for any tank build. Health above all in Fallout 76. If you can increase health or increase something else like damage resistance, almost always it's better to increase health. Therefore, this is absolute S tier under endurance. It's good that a lot of endurance card is cheap, as you can already see how many good cards there is. Next one, Munchie Resistance. Camps restore twice as much hunger. It's about as useful as Hydrofix, which you can find under useless tier. Next one, Natural Resistance. This one increases your elemental resistances based on endurance, while not diseased. So they all have this rule, not diseased. So when you are running human, you need to be careful and remove diseases as soon as they appear to have a proper bonus from those cards, but not too big of inconvenience here. At 30 endurance, this one will give you 55 to each elemental resistance. Very powerful card for any proper tank. It's mandatory. This alone, like 55, is enough to stop most dot effects that enemy has. So that will make you way more tanky and way less susceptible to all the dot attacks. So absolutely S tier for this one. Next, Photosynthetic. Gain improved health regen between the hours of 6 AM and 6 PM. It's not really useful. Maybe tiny bit. It's out of combat regeneration for health. No. I would say don't equip it. I would not recommend anyone. I will give it F, maybe F+, but very little use. 2 points it cost, barely works, no. Professional drinker. There's no chance you will get addicted to alcohol. Again, not much use case. Unless you are popping a lot of alcohols and your build is around them, maybe Nuka-Cola Dark all the time for luck boost, I will be very generous with this card and give it C-. C- for Nuka-Cola Dark fans. Rat Resistant. Another one that scales with endurance. In this case, it's really not important what it does, how much it gives you. It will not be significant because rat resistance alone doesn't do much. You need rat reduction percentage one that works in power armor, that's 90%, or rat reduction. No, power armor is 80%. Rat reduction from hazmat suit, that's like 90%, or rat reduction percentage wise with cards. So rat resistant, not really something that will help you. May look tempting, but it's a no. It may only help you if you have 0 to begin with, but then you have bigger problems than lack of rat resistant card if your character has 0 rat resistance. Therefore, C-, barely any use case for this one. Rat Sponge. So if you want some radiation protection, Rat Sponge works. Even though it doesn't look so promising from description, absorb 20% of rats taken and restore hunger and thirst, it actually helps a lot. This 20% in practice feels more like 35%, because again, percentage is better than values in Fallout 76. Plus, on top of that, you will restore some hunger and thirst, which is a nice bonus, but mainly the first part reduction of radiation taken, and you can combine it with legendary perk card that continuously removes your rats if you are a human. Very good combo if you go for that. Rat Sponge, very useful actually. I'm not sure if it should be A minus or B plus. But B is so lonely. I will give it B plus. This category is so lonely still. Let's give it B plus for the Rat Sponge. And next one, Radiation Power. Looks so awesome. Look like this ghoul is glowing with power. Expand a small amount of glow per hit to deal 20% bonus damage to targets. And I'm not sure if you can see the problem. This card costs 3 points. It drains your glow, which means it drains your health if you are a ghoul, and gives a little bit of extra damage in return. If that card would be flat 20% bonus with cost of 3, I wouldn't use it without any requirements. When there are requirements on top of that, it's really not worth it. You will barely notice a difference in damage increase, and you will absolutely notice that your glow is disappearing. As cool as it looks like, the only use case for the people that try to min-max the damage for any particular challenge, but that's about it, so C-. Min-maxing damage for one challenge, maybe. Anything else, it's not really something you can have on your build all the time without getting annoyed by drainage to your glow. Radical. The Great IO Rats, the Great IO Strength, max +5 Strength. Amazing card for every unyielding build, because Strength is the carry weight. If you are human, 1 point, that's a critical factor. If you are human, low health, it only costs 1 point. 5 Strength, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth trade-off. So S tier because of that. Very cheap carry weight. And melee damage, of course, as a bonus. Rejuvenated. Benefits of being well-fed or hydrated are further increased when you have less than 10% rats. Actually quite powerful for full health builds. Extra endurance, health. On top of that, it synergizes with rejuvenated per card 4-star legendary per card. Rejuvenated effect 4-star legendary rejuvenators, making it work even better. So it is, depending on your use case, A tier if you are not running rejuvenators on 4-star legendary, and S tier if you are indeed running rejuvenators 4-star legendary. So this one, either A or S, depending on your circumstances, so I'm putting it under S, its highest potential. Slow metabolizer. All food satisfies hunger by additional 100%. You just eat more food. You don't need this card. It will take precious space on your endurance loadout. Don't use it. Solar powered. Gain free strength and endurance between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. If that would be all the time, it would be awesome. But because it's only a day, value is good, but only 50% of the time it works, it's not as great. I'm giving it B-. So you can still consider that if you are a melee dedicated build, strength will boost your damage, endurance will make you more tanky. Only during day, that's a downside. So B-. Star Genes. If you want to keep your mutations, you equip that. You cannot lose them when using Radaway, and you cannot gain any when enter a nuke zone. Absolutely S tier for humans. You may notice Ghoul can use it too. Ghouls just do not need it. As a Ghoul, you never use Radaway, at least you don't want to. And you cannot gain mutations from environmental radiation as a Ghoul. Therefore, this card is not really needed for Ghouls. Absolutely S tier for humans. So for humans, it's on very top. Next one, Sun-Kissed. Quickly regen radiation damage between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Very convenient if you will just run rank 1. You don't want to manage these little tiny rats that you accumulate. You want to build a lazy build, and you are a human. Why not equip it? Ghouls can equip it as well, as you probably noticed, but ghouls do not want to equip it. It will eat your glow, so you don't want to equip it as a ghoul. As a human, maybe rank 1 for lazy build. I will put it under B. Maybe B plus for a lazy build. Quite handy there. Other than that, not really necessary. Thick skin. You take 10% less damage from ballistic attacks, no power armor. Quite a handy help, only for ballistic attacks, cost 3 points, but it's a percentage damage reduction, which make it good. The cost is a problem, and no power armor. There are restrictions, so one particular build will only need it. That's non-power armor and a ghoul. Still solid. I would say B+, as it is a solid card, but not a must-have for everyone. And even when it is a really good for non-power armor build, the cost is relatively high for the amount of bonus it provides. First Quencher. Increase max AP based on endurance while not diseased. At 30 endurance, it will provide 125 action points, which is indeed a lot. And cost of this card is 1 point. It makes it incredibly powerful for VATS builds. Should it be S tier? Non-VATS build will not really need it, but let's be honest, VATS builds are still #1 builds in Fallout 76. Therefore, I will give it S. You can say S- with limited use case to VATS builds, still very powerful when you need it. Through Haika, food and drink weights are reduced by 90%. And we all carry way too much food and drink. Awesome card. 90% reduction for carry weight for a very big category that is everything under food and drink. S tier in my books for sure. And last one, Vaccinated. Increased disease resistance based on endurance. Can be handy combined with other cards that require you to not be diseased, but you cannot really hit 100% immunity. Around 60% is what you will be able to achieve. Or was it 70? I think it was 70% at 30 endurance. So this is handy. But you will still occasionally get diseases. Therefore, the better strategy is to have disease cures in your inventory, because after you do catch a disease, there is 15-minute cooldown before you can catch another one. So this card you can equip to reduce the frequency of them, or you can just carry disease cures, and whenever you catch one, you remove the disease, and for 15 minutes you are immune. Therefore, it is handy. Definitely not as powerful as other cards under endurance, so it's not a must-have. I would give it, again, this being solid B. Let's give it a solid B. It is a B card. So you may notice now we have them all. Endurance has lots of S tier cards, not as many A, and then a lot way less useful and situational, but S tier. That's why running high endurance is so good. Some of them are human only or ghoul only, so keep that in mind. If you are a ghoul, all those S tier, like those 5 cards, is out for you. But still, plenty left. And that being said, let me know what you think about endurance. And now, thank you a lot for watching, and see you all in the next one.